election. Let's bring in Regis Le Sommier. He is the deputy editor of Paris Match magazine. He joins us now live from Paris. And sir, thank you so much for joining us here on the program. As we've been reporting all day, France has long been dominated by establishment politics, but this time the outsiders won. I first want to get your thoughts on the significance of this moment in French politics.
Well, it's a huge earthquake because, as you viewers have to realize, I mean, the constitution of the Fifth Republic was made by de Gaulle. And ever since, for 70 years, we've had an alternance between the right and the left. So whether it was the Socialist Party or with Mitterrand, or the right-wing party with Chirac or other presidents, it was always an alternance between two parties. There was never any outsider who gained enough steam in order to make it to the second round or to win the election. This time around, you have a second round with two people that are neither to the left nor to the right. Take National Front, for instance. It's often pointed out that National Front is extreme right, but in fact, it's compound of two very different segments of the population. In the north, the National Front has taken a lot of former workers in disfranchised area, in industrial area, and in the south, it's more right-wing people against migration because it was affecting their area that moved to the National Front. When you take Emmanuel Macron has been able to gather around his persona and his charisma a number of people from all the spectrum of politics in France, including former communists all the way to liberal, free trade, everybody. So Macron is betting on a dynamic of change. He thinks a little bit like Obama when he ran for election in the U.S. He tries to say, I am change. I'm going to change the way politics are made in France. And Marine Le Pen, on the contrary, she say, I'm going to restore France. Pretty much the same way Donald Trump said when he was running, he wants to make America first. So you have two very different characters, but they don't embody a right or a left. That's very new.
Yeah, two very different candidates in a very, very different French presidential election. Let's talk more about Emmanuel Macron. You made the comparison there between him and Barack Obama. We know that Macron has no experience in electoral politics. Going into the race, he had no party backing. He is the front runner. Then after his performance on Sunday, he has gained the backing of established parties. What does he need to do to win this race?
Well, on paper, he will win this race. However, you never know. As I've just mentioned the election of Donald Trump in the U.S. You can talk about Brexit as well in England. Nobody, I mean, virtually zero people were betting on either one or the other. This time, Marine Le Pen is definitely the outsider. You must realize that her father actually made it to the second round in 2002 against Jacques Chirac. Jacques Chirac won with an overwhelming margin, 80-20. Now the poll says that Macron should win 60-40. That's not the same thing, meaning that Marine Le Pen could be able to actually make it, even closer. And she has a dynamic, let's put it that way, because she's never been tested before. And National Front has been around the French politics for over 20 years. So a lot of people think we've tested all the parties, but we've never tested National Front. So they might be tempted to vote for her. On paper, Macron is the winner. However, elections these days, and especially the polls, won't go as far as saying, in 2 weeks, he will be the next French president.
Yeah, absolutely. Marine Le Pen may, on paper, be a win for her, may be a distant outcome, but it is a conceivable one. So what does Marine Le Pen and her campaign need to do to rally up more support behind her?
I think she was very divisive on the first round. She came, she really attacked François Hollande's government, and the main problem is going to be what will the French remember of François Hollande, and François Hollande, you must realize, is very, very low in the polls. So it's kind of a Macron is going to try to dissociate himself from what Hollande did. However, a lot of people know he's been the economy minister of Hollande for 2 years, and of course Marine Le Pen is going to say he's been with Hollande. He's a sort of Hollande lookalike. He's a sugarcoat for Hollande, and it's going to be the five more years of the same policy. So if she wants to win, she will have to, the problem with her is she will have to attract a number of people from the right, which she will probably. Even in Fillon said yesterday that he was urging his supporters to vote for Macron. I think she will gather a number of them. The other unknown factor is how many people from Mélenchon, who's the clear left candidate, who made almost 20%. This is a huge win for Mélenchon. Even if he didn't make into the second round, he won 20%. And Mélenchon is, a mixture of former communist with, he has a lot of charisma. He didn't say yesterday who to vote. So that's a big unknown. And a number of people that are on his side, we know, are from disfranchised area, are people that had been left out for many years. Some of them were formerly with Le Pen, and they decided to go back to the left, who's their traditional family. Will they go with Le Pen, or will they go to Macron, or will they simply not vote? These are two unknowns. And if Marine Le Pen is able to actually strike on both sides, she might be able to bring steam to her, to the number of people needed to be elected president.